The world of sports is meant to be uplifting, inspiring, and of course, entertaining. But when it comes to certain players, sports, and moments, embarrassing stuff gets out, and it makes you cringe, laugh out loud, or just shake your head at what's happening in front of your eyes. Allow us to show you some examples of the funniest and most embarrassing moments in sports. Number 10. Lance Armstrong. Embarrassing moments come in all shapes, sizes, and sports, and sometimes there's a dark side to embarrassment, and that perfectly describes the story of Lance Armstrong. At one point in time, Armstrong was believed to be the next big thing in cycling, and someone to admire. He battled back from cancer and went on to win 7 Tour de France's. He was a hero, or so we thought. For years, there had been allegations that Lance had been doping in some way, shape, or form, but he denied it and even had loopholes to get out of it. But eventually, he was caught, and the scope of his doping made the world cringe and be embarrassed as a whole. We praised him for beating cancer, which was basically the only honorable thing he did without doping, and we showered him with praises with every victory. Yet, he was a cheat, a liar, and as ESPN is showing with their 30 for 30 series, he honestly has very little remorse for what he has done, and that should be the most embarrassing thing of it all. Number 9. Punching the wrong person. In a boxing fight, it's important to keep throwing punches, especially when you feel like you're not winning in order to show that you haven't given up yet. In this fight, you can tell that the fighter in question wasn't looking up when he threw a massive punch, but instead of hitting his foe, he hit the referee. What sells this embarrassing moment is so many things. First and foremost, it was a good punch. You can see how the ref was rattled, but then both boxers started to react to the punch, and while one was shocked, the other was all but laughing because he couldn't believe the ref accidentally took a punch meant for him. The ref was fine, and he smiled to the camera to show he was okay, but I'm sure that's one story he'll be telling for a while. Number 8. LeBron flopping. There are a lot of people who say that LeBron James is better than Michael Jordan, and those people have a lot of reasons to say why he is, regardless on whether it's true or not. But as this embarrassing moment will show you, there is something that LeBron is better at than Jordan: flopping. Watch as this play progresses. He fakes getting hit and does a major flop in order to get the ref to make a foul call. And he continues to sell it for as long as he's able. MJ just would have made the basket without all the drama. I'm just saying. Oh, and don't forget, this isn't during the early part of his career. This was in his recent season with the Lakers. So yeah, age doesn't give grace, I guess. Number 7. Tie their shoes together. Okay, we'll be honest here. We're not sure what the heck happened here, but it sure was funny. In soccer, both men's and women's, the act of tripping is frowned upon, yet done all the time. For these two women, they were going to reap an unintentional reward for this act. You see, the woman on the right is clearly trying to trip up the one on the left, and when she does, their shoes literally get stuck together. How? We don't know, and neither did they. In fact, when they realized what happened, they couldn't help but smile at the absurdity of it all. Number 6. Bad bounce. In tennis, where the ball is hit and bounces is critical, but in this unfortunate moment, a player got mad and hit the ball in a way that made it fly towards the judge in the high chair. He got hit in his eye, and it was a serious injury too. The player got fined $7,000 for the unintentional injury. Let this be a lesson to you kids. If you're going to get mad, hit the ball where no one can get hurt. Okay? Number 5. My trophy. For Andre Drummond, he should have been having the time of his life accepting an award during a certain NBA season. But instead, when he was presented with a trophy for his work, it literally broke in the team's owner's hand. And the whole crowd got to watch the goof as the owner tried to put it back together. Yeah, there's no point in putting it back together, that's for sure. Like his teammate said, ESPN, not top 10. And we'll bet that got the number 1 spot. I mean, how could it not? Number 4, water. Intensity is to be appreciated in a sporting event, but that doesn't mean you show it to the guy getting you water. This Raptors player was clearly hyped up on what was going on, and he was giving high fives to his crew. And when a waiter handed him a water, the Raptors player snatched it out of his hand with the greatest force possible. I'm surprised the water bottle didn't burst. Just as important though, look at the waiter's face. He's like, okay, the water is yours. Number 3, that's stealing. Heading now to baseball, there are a few things as thrilling as catching a foul ball or getting a ball from a player. And for this lady, it apparently meant everything. So much so, she was willing to steal it from a little girl, even though the player was trying to give it to the little girl. No, really, she did. Watch it. It happened. And I'm sorry. When the announcers call you on that, you know you did something wrong. What did that girl do to you, lady? Number 2, wrong team, son. Lionel Messi is a world-famous soccer player, but his son needs some help on understanding who to root for. He brought his son to a game, and he cheered for the wrong team. Oops. Watch for the reaction of those around him as he cheers. Priceless. He'll grow up out of this phase, hopefully. Number 1, put a cork in it. We're done. And appropriately, we end with a victory celebration. Novak Djokovic was celebrating a tennis tournament victory by popping some champagne. But he popped the cork right into his face. Props to him for playing it off like it was nothing. But later on, he had to admit it happened. And the slow motion shows off the action beautifully. Novak Djokovic, ace on the tennis court. Not so much with a little bit of the bubbly. Thanks for watching. What did you think of these funny and embarrassing moments from the world of sports? Which of these moments did you see live? Which ones made you laugh as you watched them? Let us know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time on the channel.